Look at this gorgeous day on a Monday. It's nice and sunny out here. Now it is kind of cool, but I'm dressed appropriately. Since I'm wearing all this attire, it feels like it's nice and warm. But it is nice and warm to a certain degree. It's like in the low 50s, but still nice. Today we're going to finish up part of our cleanup that we didn't get to do last week due to interference of snow and sleet and a few other things. But today is in the low 50s, tomorrow is going to be in the upper to mid 50s, and then Wednesday I believe is going to be close to 60, which that will allow us 3 days this week to get done everything we need to get done as much as possible. There's still a few little attributes that need to be done, but we have to wait until at least probably about April. At least about April to get some of this other stuff taken care of. Because, yeah, I don't want to do it in nasty weather. Like tilling up this little section piece here to level off the ground somewhat. Then there's, a few other things we need to take care of that's, but needs to be done in warmer climate weather. It doesn't have to be 80s and 90s, it could be 60s and 70s. Comfortable enough to where you can be out here in a t-shirt, not freeze your ass off, and then again at the same time, maybe like a light jacket like what I'm wearing right now, and not having double layers here and 3 layers down here. So, it is what it is. But due to a certain circumstance that took place a day or two ago, everything's been kind of kinked up, and which I understand why, but some things got taken out of proportion, and somebody got butt hurt, and it is what it is. That's what I'm going to say about it. But they'll get over it in time, and if they don't, then it is what it is. But I do know that there's 96 more days until I can actually start planting plants without having to worry about frost. Well, frost-ish anyway. Because there was one year it did frost after Derby Day, and it kind of screwed everything up. A lot of the trees and everything else that were fruit trees, they got zapped and everything got screwed up. Now, it was kind of comical because this past year, all of our fruit trees, like my peach trees, my mulberry tree, my apple tree, they were like loaded with fruit. Even my grapevines were loaded with fruit. More so than they ever have been. And usually, now this is an old time kind of thing, but the old time people would say when there's a lot of fruit on the tree, we're in for a harsh winter. Now, it hasn't been as harsh as I was expecting it to be. But, winter's winter, and that's another thing that kills me. People are complaining because, oh, it's so cold. We had a couple of nice days and we're ready for, 60s, 70s, and 80s. And I keep telling people, no, it's still wintertime, just because we may have a couple of fluke days or warmer than normal doesn't mean spring's around the corner. Now, one of my videos, I tried showing the big old flocks of geese flying up in the air, which, when they're going from north to south, that's usually a good indicator that spring's on its way. But yeah, I think our ecosystem is bipolar. And earlier this afternoon, which is kind of funny because there's none of them around right now, but say like somewhere between 12 and 2, there's all kinds of songbirds out around here. They were chirping and sound like springtime, and now the thing I hear is a bunch of crows in the background and somebody's loud radio and a dog barking. But yeah, earlier it was like chirp, 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 and now it's like nothing. But there's a crow. But I can't wait. I know you're not supposed to wish days away because you need to take each day make the best of it, and do the best you can, the most you can, and everything else. But it's like I'm chomping at the bit for them 96 days to get here, because I'm ready to start planting, I'm ready to start growing, I'm ready to start increasing my yield. There's so many things I'm ready to do, and honestly and truthfully, the farmer's market never even crossed my mind these past few days. I've been out here looking at the yard, trying to, still in my mind, determine where to put more beds at, or add more growing space, or eliminate a few things to add a few things, and yeah, it's been kind of crazy. Drinking it from a straw for once in a great while. I better put there, wouldn't blow it away. But yeah, I was talking with my neighbor across the roadway over there. They're waiting to get a concrete pad poured so they can get a foundation put down. And I asked her, I said, when they gonna do that? And she said she was talking to somebody else, and they said hopefully here within a few days. Now, anytime I hear a few days, in my mind it tells me 3 to 6, maybe 3 to 9 days. But for somebody else, when they say a few days, hell, that could be 3 days to 6 months. There's no telling with people anymore. They don't have the capability of just saying, hell, it's going to take longer than normal, or it's going to be like a week or two or something like that. They'll just blow their thing up into, well, it's going to be a few days. I'm empty. I need another refill. And my refill's in the house. No, I'm going to go in the house yet. But I have so many ideas going through my head for this year. A lot of things I would love to do, but it's going to take a little sacrifice on some things. There's a list of priorities, and there's a huge list of non-priorities. And of course, the priorities is going to be taken first, and after that, I'm going to have to cherry pick some of the non-priorities and really dwindle out, a lot of the stuff that really doesn't need to be done, but would like to be done. And but it's kind of like the old saying too, pay your bills first, and after your bills are paid, you can do usually whatever you want afterwards. And but there's a lot of people that don't follow that guideline. They're like the ant and the grasshopper. They're going, oh, well, let's go out and party, kick up our heels and everything else. And then it's like, well, I can't pay my bills because I don't have any money. Well, if you went out and wouldn't buy stupid shit, you'd have money. But it depends on where your priority lies. And my priorities are the house, then the yard, and then after the yard, it is what it is. I mean, I don't have to have, a brand new boat. I don't even have to have a boat at all. I used to have a boat, and I sold it, and I've wanted one ever since I sold it. But I know the problem with having a boat is you have to get it tagged, you have to get it licensed, and of course I always had John boats, so it wasn't like nothing major. But if there's an outboard motor on it, you have to worry about where to put it at. Of course, the one I had a trolley motor on it, and we just used a trolley motor, and that was it. And we never went nowhere really far out. Maybe a little ways out, like a mile or so, but nothing more than that. And we used to go fishing all the time, me and a buddy of mine. And sold the boat. He moved off. I sold the boat. A couple of years ago, I looked at buying another one. Of course, I looked at between a 14 and a 16 foot, and I was like, man, I'd love to have that thing because it was priced nice and cheap, and I was wanting to get it. And one of the boats, the guy's like, well, there's no title on it. And I told him, I said, well, if the price you're asking for, do you get a title? I'll buy it from you. And he'll say, well, I can't get a title. And I said, well, a boat with no title is about like having, a lead anchor belt with a life jacket on. It's pointless. But I never got a boat back again. I want one, but I really don't need one. And see, that's the thing. You have to look at your wants and your needs. And a lot of times your wants outweigh the needs. That's why I make a pros and cons list. Because my pros are things that have to be taken care of. No ifs, ands, or buts. And then after that, you get the wants. And then after you get the wants, you got to cherry pick which wants are really important and which ones are just, you just want it because you want it. And that usually those get scratched off, like massively, like a boat. If I found a 14-foot John boat for $600 or $700, which ain't gonna happen. I mean, it could, but around here it ain't gonna happen. And it was actually had a title and everything to it. I would say I would probably buy it. I really would. But would I really need it? No, because it only be you could really only use it say like spring and summer and fall. And we used to use mine in wintertime a long time ago, and it was miserable cold. You freeze your ass off and everything else, and it just wasn't worth it to me. And then on top of it, trying to find time to go fishing and everything else, and find a place to put it in the water is another problem. Because there was a lot of places we used to go to, and the parking lots were just mud, and your vehicle would sink in the mud trying to get it in the water, and it was a nightmare. And then the places that you can get it into that has a nice concrete boat ramp are either way too far, or they want to charge you $30 to put in the water for a few hours. And yeah, it's just not worth it. But like I said, there's just so many things I want to do this year, but I have to outweigh the pros and the cons. Money management and budgeting, that's the key factor. But a lot of people don't go by those things. They just see something, I want it, I'm going to buy it, and then it's buyer's remorse, and then it's like, well, I bought it, I'm going to put it to the side, and it's just going to sit there for a while until I decide either to get rid of it or try and sell it for double what I paid for it, which goes on a lot of times anymore. But it is what it is. I guess I need to shut up here, take my happy ass inside and get Junior so we come out here and pick up some excess we didn't get to 2 last week. Like I said, today's in the low 50s. We're going to pick up some stuff. I've already taken one trash can out to the road. We're going to fill up this other one before we take it out. You got a light jacket?
No.
Go get a light jacket. It's not that warm out here. Come outside wearing a t-shirt, really? There's Mr. Crow. But like I said, I'm going to get off here and we're going to pick up some of this yard around here and up to the side. Some of the stuff we didn't get to last week. Fill up this other trash can so we can take it to the end of the road. And then after that, I guess we'll come inside. We'll spend about an hour or two out here. And then we'll go inside and I'll download this to the computer and then upload it to YouTube sometime either this evening or tonight, one of the two. But y'all have a great day. And you'll see me again tomorrow. Not tomorrow, but sometime this week when it's nice and sunny and warm. Because Thursday and Friday we're under a winter storm watch. It's not a warning yet, it's just a watch. Doesn't mean it's going to happen just yet. But, knowing Kentucky, our policy is it'll be sunny and 80 one day, cold and rainy the next, and snowing after that. And then it'll repeat. So it's how our Kentucky weather is. It's never predictable until it's like summertime, like between May and September. Then it's predictable to a certain degree, but wintertime it's never predictable. It could be 80 one day and 20 the next. There's no telling. Well, y'all have a great day, and I'll see y'all again later.